Damon and Joe on YouTube. First things first, we need to tell you that we're here to talk about how to make social media your job, but more so how to make YouTube your job. And then we can also talk about social media, because once you're in one, it kind of everything's important.
So, really quick before we start, raise your hands if you use social media every single day. Everybody should have their hand raised. If we're looking down, we're not texting about this, we're like tweeting or looking at Twitter questions. I feel like today and age, we're used to the screens and people use it as a pastime, but we've been fortunate enough to make it a job that allows us to travel everywhere, whenever we want, and we're still making money while doing what we love. So that's why we're kind of here to preach on this idea that you can make your job something that works around your lifestyle instead of making your lifestyle work around your job. And it's as easy as starting with Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, etc.
Yeah, for us, we knew we wanted to do something in TV, and we knew we wanted to do something in travel. Mainly me. Joe wanted to be a business CEO, but I wanted
still
to
do.
Still do. But no, I wanted to do something in travel, and I'm like, how am I going to make this happen? And luckily, we live in a generation with things like Twitter, so Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. It's all becoming more and more a part of our daily lives. So this happened 3 years ago. We should start with our story.
We should start with our story. You're like,
yeah,
who
so
are
just
we?
like pop up and this is our job.
So yeah, I guess just wait for the trickling in. So our story, we both went to Pace University, so it's good to be back. We didn't know each other before coming to college. We met on Facebook, so perfect example of how young and social media connects us all. We met because we both had this passion for language, and we tweeted or we Facebook messaged about a French placement exam. Next thing you know, we're messaging each other every single day throughout the summer, becoming friends, and he's from Indiana, I'm from Connecticut, really small towns. We both came to New York to pursue our dreams. There's so many people coming here. Welcome, everyone. I feel like there's like, yeah, it's so good. So, anyways, when we met in college in New York, we both were like, all right, you want to travel? I want to travel. You don't have any money? I don't have any money. Let's just Google it until we figure it out. So our first trip was to Montreal. We planned it for 10 people. Everybody dropped like flies. We were the only ones that went. And we roughed it out. It was a 12-hour train ride. It was carrying our luggage in the middle of the night in the streets of Montreal. It was finding a hostel and sleeping with a bunch of strangers as young kids.
Not sleeping with strangers, huh?
Not sleeping with strangers. Not like
No, so we went to Montreal, we booked this awesome trip. Everyone bailed last minute. We planned it actually up in Maria's Tower, that's where we were dorming. We went on the trip and we're like, this could actually be a thing. We started filming a video, we loved it. Put it on YouTube, it got, what, like 100 views, and it was pretty much our roommates upstairs. But then we also took trips to DC, we took trips to Philly, day trips with the Chinatown Megabus. And we were like, this is actually a way to travel. And we come from families that are pretty much broke. They're not low income, but like they're middle class.
Yeah.
It's like these people, our families don't really travel. And so for them to see us traveling, really posed questions in their minds like, how are Damon and Joe traveling? I know they don't have money. So that's when we're like, we need to put this on social media to show young people and old people and our families how you travel cheaply.
Right, and it started out as we wanted a TV show, so it was kind of backwards. We spent the first year and a half focusing on getting to these television executives. We wanted to get in the door, we wanted to pitch our show because we thought, why is there nobody that's young and traveling on the Travel Channel? And we would get the same thing every single time. Travel is too small of a demographic for young people. Young people will not pay to travel, and there's no way to make money out of this idea. And so being the stubborn people that we are, we were like, we're not going to listen to you. And we kept filming these videos. So after, it was like around my senior year of college, Damon had dropped out at this point. Shocker. So Damon dropped out, I was still doing my business school thing, and we both decided like maybe it is YouTube. Maybe we do post 2 videos a week and 3 videos a week. And when it became tough to travel, because obviously, we do have to come here and we do have to stay to pay bills, we started doing language videos. So that was a whole new audience that we reached. So when we're not traveling, what are we doing? Learning languages to travel. And what we noticed was if you put a video up on YouTube in French, you can talk to people from France directly. So it's much broader than just a TV show. Now we're talking like, we can answer to 6 comments and each comment is in a different language. So that was like, okay, we know what we're doing, this is exactly what we need to be doing. And from there, it's been a solid year of like beefing up everything, and now we pay our rent, we pay our bills with social media.
Yeah, and to that point, social media, why we love it so much is that we can connect with people all around the world. If you have a TV show, yeah, it might get syndicated in other countries, but
you still can't directly
engage. Yeah. And so we were like, TV may be great, and I think it's important we talk more about TV because it's a TV conference.
Right, of course. It's definitely, like for us, as people that travel, the international element of our show just fit more on digital. And then we, as you know, Damon and Joe, we are always binging things on digital. So it became like, how do we make it short form? How do we make it 3 to 5 minutes? And just kind of show you bits and pieces that's easily digestible. My language, like everything is jumbled, that's a disclaimer. So we started creating these, little mini episodes. And now our biggest milestone has been, let me just show you. We'll show the video.
We can show our videos. That's what we do. Has anyone seen our videos? Okay, so we're going to show you, we just hit 100,000 subscribers just like a month ago actually, which is exciting because now we're at 130, so just like the trajectory, you can see that like once you put your heart and soul into a YouTube channel, into social media, I mean it did take us years, but it really starts to pay off exponentially, financially, and we'll get to all that. But we're going to play a little bit of this video, and then we'll cut it off.
You guys, excuse me? I'm like, I need a moment of silence to understand what's happening right now. Hold up. Are you really telling me 100,000 subscribers?
Like, what do you mean we have
100,000 people from so many amazingly different places?
100,000 people. Let's think about this.
What?
I don't know, you guys.
I need to take your tennis racket and just do like 10.
I don't know how I found. Okay, calm down with the
I'm
racket.
really
First
excited.
off, that was like an investment for me in high school.
Remember when we thought it was impossible to hit 5,000 subscribers?
You can't hit.
We were like, what do you mean 5,000 people?
October 27th, 2014. You know how many we had?
Later on.
3,090.
That's a good number.
December 1st, 2014. 3,852.
Like starting the new year, close to
Like
4,000.
I was happy.
I'm like, that's a lot of people.
January 13th, 2015. You know how much money we made that day? 41 cents.
No.
Rich.
My goal was like, I just want to be able to buy 1 cup of coffee with our YouTube channel money. Well, it's like, okay, now at least we could kind of each have a sip.
100,000 people, it's like, let's put that number into perspective. How many people are from your hometown?
I grew up in a
I
small
don't think it's
town.
many, let's just
I
say
don't
that.
think it's many.
How many people live in Bethel, Connecticut?
Woo! Represent!
18,000 people.
Wow, I was living amongst the many.
New Haven, Indiana, we have how many thousands? 15,000.
That's
So,
like 35,000 people combined.
like, I don't even think people from our hometown watch our channel.
No, I think I saw one comment like, I'm from Bethel too. And I'm like, great, 1 out of 100,000.
If anything, it's pressure.
It's
Why did you have to do that to us?
Like, I'm gonna slap y'all with this tennis. Thank you.
You know we're gonna get that one person like, all unsubscribe.
We can't stop. I'm gonna flip and serve with videos. It's gonna be like a flip pack.
Oh, you're gonna finally do that? Or what?
Oh, excuse me.
Basically, it's like 100,000 people. It's a lot of people. It's more than both of our hometowns combined. It's more than like.
Definitely more people than I can even. I don't even know.
What about our college?
5 people. We have like 8.
We want to say thank you so much. Merci beaucoup.
Obrigado, gente, grazie.
Привет.
Shukran. Привет is high in Russian.
We say thank you so much.
It's not just like the number, it's like the individuals, like the human beings all over the world. We get comments from like the Ukraine and from Russia and from, like, what do you mean people in Russia care about Damon and Joe? Oh my god, I don't know.
We gotta this video before she starts crying. I am happy that we have a community of 100,000 people who want to get out and travel the world, who want to get out and learn other languages, learn other cultures. Because you know what? The world is one.
You know what?
100,000 subscribers!
a strobe light cue.
Alright, so here's the deal. You need to go edit videos.
It's time to go back to work.
There is one thing about there's many things about having 100,000 subscribers. It's great, but it's also pressure.
It's like, we need to crank up the content, we need to crank up consistent content, we need to go back to work to do all of that. So, goodbye.
Okay.
Do you guys have any questions from that video? First of all, yes.
How do you learn like different languages? Like, what do you do?
So we actually show you how we do that on our channel. So that's a huge appeal. There's another video that we wanted to show you guys. It's us. La première fois qu'on est sorti à Paris. So we do French videos, but everything is captioned. And we try to do something fun every time. So we do French videos and Portuguese videos. A French video we did, one of our top, viewed videos is how to sound cooler in French. We personally learn languages by going to the countries or just teaching ourselves. So like right now, Damon's learning German, I'm learning Italian, and it's just like taking a book and then finding different apps and all these different resources. And that's kind of what we show on our channel, because I feel like people always want to learn languages, but they just feel like they didn't get enough, wherever they were learning it from. So we try to make it as like fun and not robotic as possible. Like learning languages is not about sounding like your name is George III. It's like, I'm Joe, what's going on?
Yeah, I was a language major here at Pace, and I mean, I loved my classes, but there was a point in my education that I was just like, you know what, I kind of want to do this by myself. I got a job at Fluent City in Brooklyn. It's a language school that you guys should all look into if you love languages. And they had a way of teaching that I loved. You go to the classroom, it's all cool, young Brooklyn types, and they're all in learning language. And I got the job without any degree, so if anyone needs a job,
Except 4% of applicants.
4%. I didn't have a degree, and you just go in there, you have to do a test lesson, and that's a good way to get started in languages. Or even if you want to take a class, I think they're the cheapest one in Manhattan or Brooklyn. So anyways, learning languages, that kind of inspired us and our YouTube channel. We're like, if I can teach this in a classroom, why don't we teach it on our YouTube channel to the millions of people around the world who want to learn French, or Joe's Brazilian who want to learn Portuguese. So some of our most popular videos are where she's teaching me Portuguese.
Which he's like fluent now, it's so weird. He speaks it because of our YouTube videos. And also we use YouTube videos to teach us how to speak languages too. So like my Portuguese gets rusty, so I Google, Portuguese YouTubers, Brazilian YouTubers. And we try to spread the love where we can.
But we have playlists on our channel, so if you guys are interested in French, we have, I think, like 15 videos. Anything from how to sound cooler in French to how to say you don't give a damn in French. Like just like those things that you are in France and you're like, how do I say this? But just from your past education, you haven't really learned in class. So that's where we come from in terms of our language videos.
Right. So since 100,000, we've now hit 130,000, which it's a month. So like 30,000 people. To us, was impossible in the beginning. It's crazy still. I'm like, what do you mean? Yesterday when I was speaking here, we were at 129,000, and now we're at 131,000. Like 2,000 overnight.
We didn't do anything.
We didn't do anything. So we're trying to tell you that it makes money while you sleep. So the basics. We're gonna get into the nitty-gritty. Is everybody ready? It's kind of boring, but we're gonna spice it up.
It's not boring. It's interesting.
So YouTube. YouTube automatically takes 45% of every single content creator's income. So no matter how big you are, no matter how small you are, 45% of that money you will never see. After you have the rest of the percentage, you can either take it all for yourself, or you can sign up to what's called a multi-channel network. So multi-channel networks used to be a new concept when we were starting, but what it is, it's basically like an agency, a talent agency for YouTube channels. So they'll promise YouTube channels all of this support, design support, collaboration support, and ways to get income. And in return, they can take anywhere from 30% to 10%. So when we initially signed up, we got the bad deal. We did 30%. So if you think about it, 45% is getting taken away by YouTube, an additional 30% is getting taken away by our MCN. And we're still here overnight in our dorm rooms, bleeding, like almost bleeding from editing, because we really want to make money on YouTube. So after a year of struggling with that, we were like, okay, let's start a blog. Maybe we can get an additional source of income with a blog, which is, this is actually a blog on our blog. So this is our site, it's ShutUpAndGo.travel. And we were like, okay, bloggers can make their living just on a blog. Why can't we make a living on both and make enough to support both of us? And with a blog, they're the same type of concepts, like they're not called MCNs, but they're called, what are they called, like blog agencies?
Yes, media agencies.
So media agencies where these companies, they own a bunch of media, right? And they have advertisers that come to them and need places to put their advertisements. So we can sign up as content creators that have interesting content that advertisers want to align themselves with. So the other, last month we did a blog post for Booking.com, and the higher your numbers, the more money you make on everything. So Twitter, each tweet now has a monetary value. If we want to do a sponsored tweet, we did one for Target, that costs X amount of dollars. If we increase our fan base, we have to re-rate those numbers. And it's like, okay, what's our price sheet? So it became like, what do you mean? It's basically like we have a store, like Twitter is one product, Instagram is another, our blog is another. Even like links in the description of a YouTube video is something people charge for, which is crazy. So it breaks down like that. And right now, how would you say we describe our model? It's like YouTube is passive income, like we sleep and we make money, which is crazy.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons we love making social media a job is exactly that. You can make money by not doing anything, and you still make money. We make money on videos we made last year. So it's like you put work in, and it's not just like a normal job where you go 9 to 5 and you make that money and that's it. We make that money on that day, and then it keeps on rolling over, bigger your numbers. So.
And it also depends too, like right now our most viewed video is his $1,200 New York City studio. And the reason for that is for a few different things. One, New York City is always a buzzword, so it's like learning how to optimize your video so that it gets searched. Two, it was, the end of August, the beginning of September, and that's when most people are moving to New York. So you're Googling, what does a New York City studio look like? And those are the kinds of things that we've started learning, how to optimize titles, how to optimize thumbnails. How many times have you seen a YouTube video that has an ugly thumbnail and you don't click on it because it looks boring? Well, we try to make our thumbnails colorful and on brand, so that if you're just scrolling by and we happen to be suggested, you'll click on it and open, the world of Shut Up and Go.
Yeah, there's really a science to all of this, and once you get started in it, you'll start to see more of it. I feel like if you aren't in social media at all, if you don't have anything on your phone, it's kind of hard to believe that this is a world and this is a way that people make money, but there are people who full-time jobs are Twitter, and people whose full-time jobs are Instagram. Remember that girl we met? She was Instagram famous. She was so stupid.
She was so dumb.
So dumb.
But it was like, she's very pretty. She can post pictures of her face. People are going to like it. And the more people that like her face, the more money she'll make.
No, she's beautiful.
So you guys are probably like, all right, so nitty gritty. How do you actually make money? The bulk of our money doesn't come from passive income on YouTube. It comes from partnerships. So this is like company partnerships that we can either seek out, which most of the times we do.
Yeah.
We will cold call executives. We will knock on your door. Like, we will find a way to get you to know about who we are if we feel like it's strategically aligning with Shut Up and Go. So when we first started and we had no numbers, we used this site called Skyscanner. And Skyscanner is this website. Usually it was just in the UK, but they expanded since. Skyscanner is like Priceline, but they have this unique thing where you can say, I'm leaving from New York and I want to go everywhere. And when you click everywhere, it'll show you, see flexible everywhere. It'll show you the cheapest flights that you can go on. And so we use this as users, right? And we love this so much that I found the CEO on LinkedIn and messaged him directly without having any mutual connections, saying, in the tiny character limitation, I'm like, Joe, think my show would be great for Skyscanner. What's the email, right? And he responded. And it was a year of building a relationship with them until they finally gave us an opportunity to make branded videos representing Skyscanner. So what the deal was basically every week for 3 months we would make a video on a blog topic that they had written. So that relationship was awesome. That paid some really good bills. That was a good opportunity.
This was another reason why our families were like, Damon, Joe, how are you guys traveling? You don't have money. So we made a video recently. We'll get to this. We made a video recently about this website, and of course it was sponsored, but we used them before, so we didn't feel so bad about it. But this website is awesome because you have, you type it everywhere and you have the cheapest flights. These are round trip. So you have to click one, then you find your dates. So that's a good little travel tip for you. That's what we do on our YouTube channel.
So we actually made a video that they paid for, but we try to skin it with content that our viewers want to watch also. So it'll be like travel tips, travel Q&A. The first 3 things are tips, and then 4th thing is how do we find the cheapest flight. This is how it is, and so the brand is happy, and our viewers are happy, and we're happy.
Yeah, and so as you can see, you can go, the 30th of October for $34, return Friday for $34. Of course, it's probably a crappy airline, but it probably won't be that bad on it. I mean, you just take a carry-on bag.
Right, this is like, nonstop.
It goes down, don't worry.
Yes.
What about stay? Like, what do you stay? Like in a hotel and like
In hostels. So another thing that we do is we stay in hostels. We try to like change the way young people and old people too see hostels. How many of you guys have like a vision of a hostel?
What is that?
Probably a lot. Yeah.
What is a hostel? Okay,
What is a hostel? Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Sometimes, don't. It's not about. No, not the movie. Not the movie. Watch the movie. I've actually never seen the movie, but hold on. Just to close this out. This obviously it's more expensive than what it said $70. It's still $232. But where are we going?
To Atlanta.
Atlanta. But and that's next week. So
There are little tips and tricks, like we can open a private browser and it'll probably be cheaper. All things we talk about in our videos.
Southwest Airlines.
I know, they're great.
But hostels. Okay, so hostels are basically hotels, but they're so much cheaper. Yes, you're sharing a room, but if you're staying in a dorm room, you guys know how it is. You're sharing a room all the time. So a hostel, I mean, it's like 4 to 6 bunk beds in one room, and these are not crazy people. Like we stay. I mean, we're kind of crazy. Sometimes they're crazy, but I would say 75% of the time, it's like Australians who are going on a worldwide trip.
Right.
These people want to get out and see the world, and they need cheap places to stay, and yeah, they're not that crazy.
I mean, the whole concept of a hostel is to create a community around like young people traveling. And I feel like young people are traveling more than ever. And when we started, we felt like it was gonna happen, and it is. So when we travel, most likely we're staying in a hostel because it's cheaper and because we believe in the motto of like traveling and meeting strangers and creating these friendships all over the world. If we're not staying in hostels, we're couch surfing, which we filmed a video on couch surfing, which, like, what do you even explain? It's a community of travelers who are willing to have strangers sleep on their couches, and you as a traveler are willing to sleep on a stranger's couch.
You make it sound so weird.
It's not that weird.
It's not weird.
It's not weird. No, it's actually really reputable. Like people who go there and meet lifelong friends, because you have a profile, like you write all these details about you, you can even pay to be verified.
Yeah, so we both have profiles on it. We made a video, start to finish. We were in a Panera Bread Friday night in Washington, D.C., and we're like, yeah, we could pay $20 for a hostel, but we don't have $20, so let's figure it out. So I messaged the guy on
my profile.
Couch Surfing is what the website's called, and we ended up staying at his place. He took us to all the bars, paid for our drinks, showed us around D.C., the locals guide to D.C., which is what the video is called, I think. And so we really learned about his city through his eyes, because he wakes up there, he goes to sleep there, he works there, and he really knows it.
Paid $0 for this accommodation
$0.
and made like a really cool video and a really awesome connection with this person. And his whole thing was, as long as you guys leave me a good review, and if I can crash on your couch if I'm in New York, we're even. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So there's couch surfing, then there's Airbnb, which is you rent out a room or an apartment of somebody that lives wherever you're going. And you as a person, if you have an apartment that you like and you might not be in as much, you can actually put your room up on Airbnb. We put up our apartment listing and it's like, your estimated income a month is $4,000. We're like, what?
That's why.
We're like,
We have a private apartment.
private apartment. And that's another way that you can make money and also meet locals. And
Yeah. But bringing it back to sponsors, so because we are travel influencers at this point, travel YouTubers, we can then reach out to these brands, Couchsurfing, Airbnb, or hostels. We've worked with many hostels. And we can now say, hey, look, we have 13,000, which isn't that much on Twitter, but if we send 1 or 2 tweets, can we get a free night stay? So we took a trip to Europe this past summer. Not only did we get the transportation sponsored by Eurail, which is the train company, it's pretty much Europe's Amtrak. We got that entire thing sponsored, but also we hustled and we got it so the hostels we were staying at in each European city gave us it for free as well. So that is the power of social media and having numbers.
we joke around like if we're out to dinner, we're like, oh, I really want to eat this. Can I pay you in a tweet? Because it's true, and there actually is an app that's called, what is it?
That's
Pay,
on my list.
Popular Pay.
Yeah, you guys need to download this website, or download this app. It's called Popular Pays. You should be getting sponsored for this.
I know.
Popular Pays, and really what it is you pay in an Instagram photo. And I looked last night, and you need, I think the minimum is 500 followers. So you go to a coffee shop in East Village, and you take a cool picture of a latte, and you get the latte for free. So it's called Popular Pays. Look into it.
Right.
Back to sponsors.
Back to sponsors. So for our hostel trip, or for our Euro trip, we were like, all right, we need to stay. We know we're planning this whole trip around 10 countries and all these cities, and how are we going to afford this? Still make videos. So we negotiated with this huge hostel company. Usually they're conglomerates. This was something we reached out directly to them. We tweeted at them. Use Twitter to find connections also.
Yeah.
Like Evan Shapiro, I think he spoke this morning. I tweeted at him, and we got breakfast together.
Got to see that, right?
Yeah, like from this event, I met him. I tweeted at him. I was like, I want to take that to coffee. Bam! Like years later, we're still kind of in the same vein of things, except now I'm not a student sitting and watching. We're giving this presentation, and it all started from a tweet. So with this, we tweeted at this company called Bed and Bars, and they own a bunch of hostels abroad. And they said, Damon and Joe, we want YouTube videos. And we said, we cannot spam out our YouTube channel like that. What we can offer you is blogs, because people read our blogs, but it feels a little less intrusive. Because we're physically not looking in the camera and saying, we're Damon and Joe, you should stay at this hostel. Ding! Like, it's not like that. So instead, they said, okay, we'll do blogs, but you need to promote them on your social media. So I think we agreed to one blog post per city and a few tweets to promote the blog. So they're giving us content, we're giving them promotion, and we get accommodation and a relationship that we're building with these people. So that's kind of an instance where you, as every single individual, if you have social media, you're your own media company, and you have the power to grow that company and have that work for you in whatever ways that you want it to. So if you want to go to a game, if you're really big on sports, build your Twitter following. Make sure everybody on Twitter knows that you're a sports expert. Then you're going to tweet at whoever's managing an event, like the Super Bowl or something. That might be too big at first, but like smaller events, and ask, hey, can I get free tickets? You know, and then eventually it'll get to the point where they'll not only give it to you for free, but they'll have to pay you on top of that. And I think the challenge has been, this career is such a new, field that it's very difficult for us as creators. We're creative people, and yeah, I went to business school, but there's still so much of my heart in this for me to say, we cost X amount of dollars, but that's what you need to do.
Yeah, especially because it seems so silly. It's like, how can a tweet, 140 characters, earn you $300? It's
right.
Like, how do you, what?
One tweet will cost anywhere from like $300 to $10,000, depending on your amount of followers. So what happened was, in the beginning, we were honestly a little confused. We were like, how much does it cost? We don't want to, lowball ourselves. We don't want to say too much. We don't want to act greedy. And it's been a process it's been a painful process, because we've done so many sponsorships where we were working for like 17 hours straight, getting paid nothing. In fact, we were paying to work. There was our first sponsorship. We ended up paying each probably like $2,000 and not getting any money for 3 months. But that was an investment, because now if you look back on our channel, those videos from Latin America are what started everything. But now it's like, okay, we get this, for free, and we also need to be very clear on like what the compensation is, because we look fun and bubbly on camera, but we make a living out of this. So there's that too. Companies are really realizing the power of social media. The biggest YouTuber in the world, we can look him up. His name is PewDiePie. Yeah, does anybody know who?
Yeah, and this is also another point to mention. I don't know how many people in the audience want to be YouTubers or Twitter famous, whatever, but we make a living, 2 people off our YouTube channel, and we have 130,000, which, yes, that's a lot of people, but at the same time, that's nothing compared to...
He has 39 million.
39 million.
People.
Or people have 2 million, or 1 million, or 800,000. What we have is nothing.
Nothing compared to
But
this.
it's still enough to make our living and be able to wake up every morning, or not wake up in the morning, and say, like, this is what I'm going to do. Not wake up. No. That's why we love this career.
PewDiePie, he's a Swedish gamer. He started out his videos, and he still does this. You'll see his face in the corner. He basically just does colorful commentary on these like video games he plays. And he has been able to grow this crazy reach and influence that his reported income for this year was $12 million. He's in his 20s. These people, and this is a global thing. Don't think that this is just in the States, because when I was in Italy, I stayed there for 10 days with a family to learn Italian and like research for our show. And the kid that I was staying with, he was like my host brother, 5 years old. Every single time I saw him, he had his phone on YouTube to watch an Italian gamer who also had a brand of playing cards and collection books. He is making so much money. This is completely global. This is like an epidemic almost of people being obsessed with YouTube content. Yes?
Do you think it's important to focus on one social media account before you build on, or like should you just...
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, okay. It is, no, it really is. We've tried dabbling in certain social medias. We tried Vine for a little bit. Like, I don't know if that's us. We've tried a few other ones.
Periscope, we're still dabbling in. Periscope is this new, it's like the newest kid on the block on social media. It's live streaming, and you can get instant comments. And we thought it'd be awesome because we travel, so how cool would it be to take people on our travels with us while it's happening? But then international Wi-Fi is not our friend, so it didn't work out either. So we basically stuck to, it was always Twitter. Twitter was always the top. I mean, YouTube is obviously the top, but aside from YouTube, Twitter and Instagram. Instagram is our second largest. Travel is very visual, so it's easy to kind of get people to like pictures when they travel.
Yeah, I think the two easiest social medias to get more followers are Instagram. I mean, if you want more followers, you go to other people's profiles, you comment. Because the more times you comment, the more times you like, the more people will see that you commented. And they'll like, click your picture and they'll be like, wow, this person has a nice feed, I'll subscribe. Also, YouTube, I think, is like the top dog to kind of space it all out too. Yeah, because that's interesting we didn't mention that. YouTube is the only one you make money on. You make money on the ads. Instagram, you can have 100,000 followers, but you're not making money on ads, you're making money through sponsorships. YouTube, you're doing both. We're making money on an advertisement that rolls, and also every video that we put up, you have a choice. You can put a 30-second ad, 15-second ad, you can put a 5-second ad, you can put it in the middle of the video. We have control over all that. But all the other social media, you don't have control. So I think if you want to make this your job, you need to start on YouTube, grow it to at least 1,000, and you do that by commenting other people's channels,
collaborating with other people that
collaborating, and then start saying, hey, go to Snapchat, hey, go to Twitter. And what we do that's really been beneficial is, we're going to get to Superwoman, she's really good. We use these 3 lines. So in a YouTube descriptions, you'll start seeing if you watch YouTube that people don't take advantage of those 3 lines. They might put 1 and then there's just blank space. You get 3 lines before the show more thing comes up. So you need to use that to say, hey, help us get 200K on Twitter.
Or we also push to a blog or follow us on Snapchat.
Yeah.
Well, follow us on everything. This is also good for your SEO. So title and description is all like a rhythmic algorithm in the back end of Google. So a lot of times we can look at where our traffic is coming from. And it's coming from YouTube suggest page, which means that we're doing good on our SEO, but we could be doing better. So that's also interesting. When it starts becoming like a business with analytics and numbers, you start learning how to crank things up. So you have to take advantage of this and direct people to follow us on other platforms.
Yeah. But back to Superwoman. Do you guys know who Superwoman is?
Yeah.
She's awesome, right? She's been, I think she's on the subways now. Like she's
Billboards.
in billboards and everything. So again, she has 7 million. Her legit full-time job is YouTube, especially. Ours, like, yeah, we work 9 to 5 and we do it, but she makes probably millions of dollars at this
She
point.
goes on tour. She just did a
goes on
world
tour.
tour.
She's
For
done a
YouTubing.
documentary. She has, like, I think she has a book. She's collabing with Selena Gomez. So this is the power, but let's get back to, like, reality. Okay. So let's see. What should we talk?
Do you guys have any questions now? Yes.
As a, I guess, a social media entrepreneur, would you say that Facebook is dead at this point if you're trying to expand your business?
I gotta get the answer. Okay, so Facebook has been like, it's like rusty at this point. It's been in the game from the beginning. We met on Facebook, can't hate on Facebook. Facebook video is actually now starting to build a similar model that YouTube is building, or that YouTube has built and has been very successful in. Facebook is now starting to monetize videos that are directly uploaded onto Facebook. So we have got the exclusive in with our multi-channel network. One of the perks they said, okay, we're only letting 100 creators get a part of this program, but basically Facebook is promising to compensate videos that are directly uploaded. And so I also think that Facebook has been doing something with SEO where if you post a Facebook video or if you post a YouTube video on your Facebook, it won't get as many eyeballs as you do like a picture because it's a competitor. So like you're getting the boot from Facebook. I think in the next few years that's Facebook's primary goal.
Yeah, but I did read an article the other day that said the reason Facebook is kind of starting to go downward in a way, like the cool factor, is because teenagers nowadays, first off, teenagers rule social media, but teenagers don't think it's cool that their mom and their grandma are on Facebook. So they all go to Snapchat, which is why Snapchat has blown up in the last few years. So,
except your mom sends a snap.
I know, my mom's on Snapchat. She like watches all of our stuff.
So funny. I mean, yeah, I think it's always been that thing where young people are always trying to find their place. They're always trying to find their space to have conversations. So that's why you saw, like, first it was Facebook, and then they moved to Twitter, and then they moved to Instagram. Now they're moving to Snapchat. Who knows if that's going to change or if it's going to stay the same, but I know Facebook is definitely trying to do a lot with video because video is the most consumed piece of source of content that there is. Blog posts are right too, but I mean, let's be real, we all like videos because it's just easy to digest.
Okay. Sure. No, it's cool. It's more interactive this way.
I was just wondering, do you have to get to like a certain number of subscribers before you can monetize your videos?
I think it's 1,000 actually.
I'm not sure because we did it late in the game. We actually probably lost so much money because we didn't know how to monetize and we had to Google a lot. But there's a button on YouTube where you can click to become a partner on YouTube. But I think, I mean, for you as a creator, you want to get to 1,000 anyways, just to make sure this is something you want to do. Because yeah, you can click monetize, but if nobody's watching your videos, you'll make no money.
Yeah, I know that I wanted to start making videos, but I don't know the camera and stuff. Like, how did you guys get the camera and everything?
Such a funny story. So
yeah,
it's expensive, which is exactly why we used my sister's borrowed camera for the first 2 years. So we were climbing volcanoes, filming with my sister's borrowed camera, and nothing wrong happened, which was awesome. But till this day, I mean, we use the crappiest GoPro you could ever imagine. It's a GoPro Hero 2 with a case that's broken, like a water case that is broken. We've upgraded. When we first started, it was like your grandma's camcorder.
Yeah.
Really, just like get your hands on a camera and just do it because you can make something. And then we learned to edit on iMovie because we had Macs and it was free software. And it was all just like, maybe this will look good. We never learned any of this.
No, it was completely self-taught, but I think the Pace video department, you can rent out cameras, you can rent out video cameras and just play with it, honestly. And also go on YouTube and type tutorials. We still do that. We barely know how to work our own camera.
Right, now we actually own our own camera.
We do. But then also, what was I going to say? There's something else you could do. Oh, don't they have Final Cut Pro also?
Yeah, they also have Final Cut Pro. I'm not sure if all of you guys are from Pace. I don't think that's the case. But if you are at Pace, they're the computer labs on the second floor, and they have the best version of Final Cut. And so when we wanted to make these like elaborate videos, we would always just camp out there and get a computer and do Final Cut. But yeah, start with a camcorder, whoever you can borrow it from, and edit it on iMovie. Whatever you can, even an iPhone. Actually, Superwoman's vlogs that get millions of views are filmed on her iPhone most of the time. So like you can't use equipment as an excuse. So that's the answer to that. Yes.
When you were talking about all the financial stuff, was this something that you learned along the way, or did you have to do a lot of research beforehand? Because it's, like you said, it's a whole different spectrum. So did you just like make mistakes here and there and just figure it out, or like what kind of research did you have to do?
Yeah, because there really isn't much on the internet saying like, hey, this is how you make money doing YouTube. This is how you make money as an Instagram star or whatever.
It's really difficult. Even thinking about like taxes, we always struggle to find an accountant because it's like, who knows what a YouTuber is? People don't even think we make money, and yet we're like cutting checks now. You know, like, it's actually happening. So I think right now, like legally, very difficult to find help because people don't understand yet. Like lawyers aren't specializing in, Instagram laws or like Facebook laws or YouTube laws. So that's always been a challenge, I think, for us. Has been Googling our eyes out, like Googling everything, and then making so many mistakes, getting the short end of the stick so many times, Now we're at the point where people demand, like kindly demand more compensation, more benefits out of whatever we're doing with the company.
Well, it also, you got to start with your first one. We put up a video. It was from our study abroad experience from PACE. We went to the study abroad fair here. Did pretty much the same thing we're doing now, and a company came up to us after and said, hey, do you guys film all that and you edit all that by yourself? And we said, yeah. And they're like, what do you think about going to South America or Latin America for 3 months? We're like, that sounds great.
To film these amazing videos. And we're like, we did that and it looks so bad, but okay.
So that was our first opportunity. We didn't get paid, but it also was good, I guess.
We knew it was an investment.
Like, yeah, we knew it was an investment. We knew it would pay off in the end, and we could put it in our media kit. So when you do have followers, you start getting all of this, you start to form media kits. And with media kits, you show everything you've done,
your subscribers,
the success that you've had. And yeah, it's all in documents. It's really not just, hey, this is my YouTube video. It's like, hey, this is our YouTube video and our media kit and our one page about who we are and
our website. Yeah, like you need to actually position yourself as a business person, and that's what's always set us apart, I think. And people that are now meeting with us, like high-level executives that are working with us to develop other cool things, will tell us, they told us the other day, it's funny because usually when we get creators in the room, it's just a pretty face, but you guys are like thinking on the same level as we are. Because we're like, we have this awesome idea, and these are the partners that we could align with it, and they're like, wow, you do your homework. I think that's what changed the game, but in terms of like financially learning, it was like a hit or miss, and now we got the gist of it.
Hey guys, 2 questions. One is, so you guys mentioned how you guys started in dorms and so forth, so it's like your roommates, like a couple hundred views, and I know now it's like 100,000. So I was gonna ask, and of course it's steady growth and networking with other channels, but what was it that like, tipped over from like your roommates and your family and your inner circle to people that you don't know? And I know word of mouth plays a part. So like, is it the multi-channel network that really helped, or what was it exactly? That's my first question.
That was actually a really bad thing that we did. We learned from that mistake with the multi-channel network. We thought before any of this started, like, all right, we didn't get a TV show, but maybe the MCN will change the game because they promised to show your videos. They promised to, give you those eyeballs. For an entire year, nobody from the company reached out to us, and it was countless emails and postcards. Eventually, we got an in-person meeting because we mailed a postcard to this office in Los Angeles. We flew from New York to Los Angeles and met with the executive who ended up leaving that company to go to a different MCN. And when that happened, we were just bummed. We were like, these people are taking 30% of our money, and we're still getting small views. So what actually changed the game, I honestly think, were the language videos.
Yeah.
Because it was like, for the first time, you're seeing this like cultural blend. And then you're seeing that we're passionate about other things like languages, and people really want to learn languages. And it seems so small and specific, but that was what worked. Like nobody else is teaching languages on YouTube without sounding bland. And so we saw it as an opportunity. So we're like, let's make the language videos, and we started growing a Brazilian audience. And it was like, okay, growing Brazilian audience, let's grow French, let's grow American. So that's kind of.
Yeah, but real quick about the MCN. So MCN, again, it's like a YouTube talent agency, and you can get signed to one with a few hundred subscribers. So you gotta watch out though, because we signed right away thinking, okay, we're gonna have finally some support, we're gonna have a team, we're gonna have a manager who's gonna help build our channel. Those people, the managers, the people working at these companies, they're too busy on the Superwomans, on the PewDiePies who have millions of subscribers, because they're the ones making money. So I think, and you probably think the same thing, to grow your channel to at least 1,000 to 5,000 subscribers,
build some
maybe
clout.
more, maybe more.
Yeah, I think 5,000 to 10,000 would be a good time for you to start thinking about maybe signing to an MCN. Because you want to grow yourself as a YouTuber to know what your content looks like, to know how to produce it consistently.
Yeah.
And then you can leverage with them. You can negotiate. So never take the first number that they offer you that's been, like, I can't stress that enough. And if you don't ask, you're not going to get it. We signed 30, 70, and we were like, this is a really bad decision, but I feel like this is the only hope. And maybe that was a mistake. I think it actually was. Yeah. But then after a year of getting that 30% taken away, we renegotiated our contract and got a signing bonus. And that was something that we've done because we have those numbers to back up that we're not just regular people that want to be famous on YouTube. We have a mission and a company and a bigger picture.
Cool. And the second question was, I know there's a balance of like not putting up too much content and not too little, and like how do you what's your method or science, I guess the word?
We started with 1 video a week, and it was, I mean, we got the views, but not much was happening. We upped it to 2. We're like, okay. It was really when we did 3 a week. And people on YouTube will tell you to do a scheduled time, like Thursdays at 5, I'll have my new video. We tested that out. It stressed us out. We didn't enjoy it. So we don't even do that, but we do make sure to put it up at least 3 videos a week. Some people try to go for daily vlogs. So I really feel like you have to either choose the daily vlog route and actually do it daily, or do at least 3.
3 videos was when it started growing, because people will subscribe if they know there are 3 videos that they can get every single week. You become these people's friends, and like people that watch our channel, we don't call them fans, we call them viewers, because it's like you guys are all like watching us because you want to do the same thing, and it's a cool community we're building. But they wouldn't have clicked subscribe if there was 1 video 6 months ago.
Yeah,
They don't care, they're not going to come back.
So then what would you say to like someone who's just starting out with a YouTube channel? Like, I know it's extremely like discouraging when you have like 36 views. 20 of which
we were there.
Trust us. And we started and we thought it was impossible. And this was 3 years ago. We thought that it was too late because everybody that was big on YouTube started in 2006, and we would never ever be able to get anything, close to that.
Yeah, so we only have 5 more minutes around then left, but honestly, and this isn't a plug, this is like actually, this is how we did it, 10 ways to actually grow your YouTube channel. And we tell you, look, don't waste your time doing this, comment on other people's channels, go to the most recently uploaded ones. So check that out, that's ShutUpAndGo.travel, and just type in YouTube. Also, if you need a whole recap of how we actually make money, keeping it real, how we make money as YouTubers.
We need to update that too, because there's like so many new things that we've learned. I mean, we're learning all the time. That's the exciting part, that social media is such a new career that you learn so many things, and executives have to like bend and mold and learn how to work with creators. The budgets are just getting higher, to let you know. So if you're thinking about YouTubing or starting, a social media company, it's not too late. It's never too late, as cheesy as that sounds.
I got a few more notes before we have to end, but you should probably start focusing on the social media that's hot right now. Those are Periscope, Meerkat, Story is another one, S-T-O-R-I-E. That's about to launch in the Apple Store. And Beam. I don't even think you know about Beam.
I do know about Beam.
Oh, really?
Yeah, YouTuber created it.
Yeah, a YouTuber created this app called Beam, B-E-M-E, I think.
Yeah.
Do you guys have Beam?
Yeah.
Okay, he has Beam. So really this is an opportunity to, I guess, take off. The first people on YouTube are the ones that have 36 million.
Right, but then it's not to say that things can't go the other way, because for instance, Superwoman, when we first saw her, I think she didn't even have 1 million subscribers, and that couldn't have been more than 2 years ago. Now she's one of the biggest and has billboards everywhere.
Another thing, if you want to keep in the know about all this YouTube, all this social media, all this stuff, there are a few websites you can go to stay in the know, I guess. The Video Inc. is one. It's all about online digital content, YouTube, everything.
Trends, things that are changing, everything you need to know.
The next one is TubeFilter. These are 2, and they talk about YouTube celebrities. And
this one's more like gossipy. I'm going to StreamCon. And there are these big conferences too. Like we went to VidCon when we first moved to LA. It was the end of July, and there were, all the famous YouTubers. They do panels, the whole conference. Imagine this, but just for YouTubers, right? And people would be crying their eyes out, screaming, running after their favorite YouTubers, and we're like, what is happening? Yeah. And so it became a thing. We actually made a video of our reaction from VidCon, like kind of making fun of people. We're like, why are you crying? But that's how big the YouTube thing is. We didn't even realize it was that big until we were at VidCon, honestly.
And then maybe you don't even want to be in front of the camera. Maybe you don't want to be a YouTube star. You can still, I guess if you want to work in social media, there are 1,000 internet companies now. There's BuzzFeed, Mashable, Snapchat. Our manager now actually went to an interview for Snapchat and it was 3 hours long. So that's how serious this is becoming.
Right.
But then there's all these MCNs, there's all these agencies. So even if you don't want to be on YouTube, you can still work in this industry.
With creative people that are entrepreneurial too.
In fact, if you just go on Snapchat Discover, there are all those brands and companies that
Which is
are
crazy.
Snapchat.
So Snapchat Discover, does anybody watch that? I feel like everybody sees it, but nobody clicks it. Snapchat Discovers, they're like little bubbles, and each company that's on it has created original content for Discover Stories themselves. So for creators and influencers, we've already been pitched for Snapchat Discover shows. So now we're saying like a company such as Refinery 29, they might start a style show or something, and they'll have a production team for a Snapchat show. Like that's where social media is going. It's just getting so in depth and so vast that there really is an opportunity if you're thinking about social media as a career.
I have a question. My attention span is this much. Just imagine what your attention span is like. So have you tried figuring out the length of your content? I mean, you tried several ways, which one works and which one didn't?
Yeah, you always hear that like you need to keep it very short because people's attention spans are a little
And we also, like, we aren't, I personally don't watch anything that's over 6 minutes. Confessions out. I don't like it because it's like, I mean, unless it's something that I'm super interested in. For content, we started out doing longer videos, and that changed really quickly.
Yeah.
We would go to cities and we were like, everybody wants to know every little detail about the city. Let's make a 7-minute video. And then we didn't have the audience for that, right? So then we cut it down to 3 to 5, mostly 3.
Yeah.
Then we started, when our audience grew, we did 5 minutes. And now people request 30-minute episodes. And we're like, all right, now it's ready.
Yeah, when you're starting out, I think you do need to keep it short, and then you start, pushing it back. Superwoman now, I think she does like 15, 20 minutes, and she has 9 million.
Because you build a relationship with your viewers that they'll watch whatever you do, right? So it's like they just want to see more of you.
Yeah, well, and it's also YouTube. I mean, people go on YouTube to watch content. Like, it's not like Vine where you have 6 seconds. So you do need to create content for that platform, and in this case, I would say, make it 3 to 6 minutes-ish. That's a good number.
Yes, Neil Braun.
So I remember when you were Damon and Joe on the Go.
It was Damon and Joe on a dime.
So talk about how you discovered your brand, because it took you a while to figure out what your identity would be as a travel industry.
That's a really good question because we are 2 people that causes like, it's just, it's not, yeah, it causes conflict because it's like maybe we have 2 different visions, but I think Damon and Joe on a Dime was what we decided to name our first sizzle reel that got us our first sponsorship because the theme was we're Damon and Joe and we do everything on a dime. And it's like, okay, the first travel guide for the 20-something that's broke. But then we realized like appealing to brands, saying the word broke and being attached to a brand is not, a good idea because brands don't want to be associated with broke. And it was beyond that. It's not just that we're traveling, it's like we're motivating you to do other things. So even if it is learning a new language, learning a new skill, stepping out of your house and doing something you haven't done.
Yeah, it was also the longevity of our career too. We know one day we probably won't be as broke as we were as college students, and so kind of stepping out of the Damon and Joe on a dime was a smart move for us because now we can do not only the same things we were doing, but now more stuff, and people don't think like, oh, but you posted that video at that one hotel, but that's not broke. We don't get those comments anymore because we're not Damon and Joe on a dime.
Right, and then as far as like Shut Up and Go, how it actually came out, my name is Joe, so it rhymes with like go, which is convenient. So like, we tell people, you just need to shut up and go. And then it was like, our names are Damon and Joe, and you need to shut up and go. And then it stuck. And then it was like, shut up and go, bam. So we could do shut up and go learn a language, shut up and go travel, shut up and go motivate.
Yeah, just because people make so many excuses, and that's not just for this industry, it's for everything. I want to do this, I want to do that, but like, we never do it. So we tell people like, shut up and do it, shut up and go.